Hey YouTube, MTG Macar here. So, I'm going to go off into a little story. When I started playing Magic the Gathering, it was, I don't know, it was summer of 2014. It was just after, it was middle of July, I guess. I mean, early July. I'm not quite sure. Like, second week of July. And my friend was like, Matt, you gotta play this. And I did. I loved it. He built me a deck out of his old cards, threw it together, and one night we played, and we just played non-stop for the rest of the week that I was visiting him. And that was the only deck I had. I beat a lot of people with it. I can show it off to you guys later. It was a black-red deck, so Rakdos, but it had Infect on it. There's a lot of creatures with Infect, and it would just, mess with people, and they didn't really know how to deal with Infect, or at least the people I played didn't. But the problem is, I got back home from where I was, and this deck couldn't beat a lot of people. This couldn't beat any of my friends who played. It was a pretty beginner deck. So I set off on the task of building my own deck. Now, some of you may say, that's pretty easy, Matt. Like, pretty easy, Macar. Why don't you just put cards together? How do you play? Just put cards together with the way you play. And I tried that. And, one of the things I found was I can't make a deck just by throwing a lot of high mana cost creatures in there. I was very naive when I built decks. Yeah, like I said, a lot of high mana cost creatures, and really not any way to play them, and until late game, I would just get destroyed. I just, turn 1, 2, 3, 4, I would be losing right away. I'd have very low lives, and my opponents would be at 20, or, if they played white, which most of them did, they'd be at more than 20. And I quickly found that this wasn't the way for me to play. Now, I went online and I looked at a bunch of videos. A lot of YouTube videos. I would give credit to you guys if you happen to see this by any chance, but I would give credit. I just can't remember who it was by. But I watched this video, and this person went over, steps on how to build a deck, or what was most important in a Magic the Gathering deck. And so what I hope to do with the rest of this video is show you how to build a deck. I won't be able to go into detail over the, which cards to put in it, how many of instants and sorceries and enchantments to put in it, but I can show you the key parts to building a deck that will be successful against opponents. And without further ado, I'm just gonna get right into it. Alright, so this is how to build a deck, sort of. I could sit here and tell you which cards to put in a deck, but it would only suit me. You guys might find it easier to play with a deck that someone else, or easier to build a deck that someone else tells you how to do. But honestly, you're not getting the, half the fun out of Magic if you do that. For me, part of the fun, or most of the fun with Magic, is being able to buy the cards and build the decks. And no two decks really should be the same, and that's what makes this game so interesting. So, what I have here is my cards from one of my decks sorted out into 3 different piles here. My low mana cost, my mid to high mana cost, and my land. Now when you build a deck, it's important to have a mana curve, a good mana curve. You want a lot of low mana cost creatures that you can play first, second turn, and then as the turns go on and you get more mana, you want some big creatures that will do damage later on in the game and won't just become obsolete. Now, the way I build a deck is I go 36 of, creatures, instants, sorceries, land, artifact, anything other than land, I do 36 of. Total. I sometimes do 20, for example, this deck is 20 black, or either 20 black or 20 red, and then the 16 of the other. And, I like staggering it a bit. It doesn't equal it out, and that way, kind of just makes it feel better to me. I don't know how else to describe that. I just like staggering it a bit. So, and you also, with your land, I did 24. Now, you don't want just 12 and 12 of the two colors. I think I have, well, I know I have more of one color than I do the other. I think I went 14 and 10, and it works pretty good like that. Actually, fairly good. I love this deck, and I'm able to win with it quite often. Now, if we go into the low mana cost cards, you're going to want cards that'll, at the beginning of the game, they'll do some decent damage. So I have Typhoid Rats. It's a 1 mana cost, and it's a 1/1, but it has Death Touch. So I only have 2 of those in this deck, and those are actually just my only 2 1 mana cost creatures. The rest are kind of just 2 mana cost, burn spells and different creatures and sorceries and instants, and I'm just as I said, I'm a big fan of it. So pretty much just these instants, sorceries, creatures make up a third of my deck. Just these cheap burn spells and creatures. The rest are my big ones. Yeah, I have a lot of burn spells for big mana cost. It can help late game just to destroy it in late game. Unless you're playing against blue guys are jerks. They can counter all of these. But yeah, I got some pretty big creatures in there just so I can defend myself and maybe attack later on in the game. Sengir Vampire is pretty cool. Got flying. It gets +1/+1 if creature dealt damage by it dies. That's cool. Yeah, and then Grey Merchant of Asphodel and Rakdos Cluestone, being a Rakdos deck. And then Bolt of Kranos. Just a bunch of cards that will get the job done later in the game. Now, land. I'm not going to go much into, land. It's pretty self-explanatory that you should just put land in the deck. Again, don't unless you have, 18 and 18 blacks and reds, in this case, don't put 12 and 12 black and red land. If you have more black than red, put more swamps than mountains. Just shake it up a bit. Alright, so I hope the video helped. I didn't go into too much detail of what I had. It's just a thing I have where I don't want people knowing what I have in my decks. Fair enough. If you ever play against me and you want to look at it, maybe. Just depends on how well I know you. So yeah, as you saw, I do have just a lot of, cheap, just 1 mana, 1/2 mana cost creatures in there, and they help me out in the mid game, and sometimes late game as well. You get the burn spells, and they're cheap. They'll do damage, and it's pretty much unpreventable, other than counter spells, blue. Anyways, so I really hope this video helped you guys. I know I watched a video similar to this to help me, learn how to build a deck, and they went into way more detail than I did. I just think that amount of detail was unnecessary. So again, I hope this video helped you guys. I'm probably going to post more videos, maybe just a how-to, step-by-step how to play Magic the Gathering, if you're curious on how to play, if you're new to the game, and if, you just, want to play. I'm also going to try to do videos where I play Magic with my friends. I might, just do Monday Night Magic, or Wednesday night, just Magic nights, or game nights even. I've been watching a lot of Geek and Sundry. If you don't know who they are, look them up. You'll be entertained for quite a while if you're a nerd. I've been watching a lot of them, and some of the videos they do, I kind of want to not recreate, because that's stealing. Bad. But I want to do videos like that of myself. I want, to play Magic with my friends and have you guys watch me win every single time. I don't win every single time, but it'll be fun watching the games, and we'll play with Clash Packs. We'll play with Clash Packs. Yes. No. Yeah. Clash Packs. I've lost my train of thought. Choo choo. Down the tracks it goes, out of sight. Where it went, don't even know. trying to find it. Yeah, anyways, so, you know, hope this helped. You get to see me rant and ramble just one more time. And, yeah, so, you know, show your friends, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.